that decreases their value. All right, so from a technical standpoint, I could see that, right? From a technical standpoint, I could see that, but that's a little bit of a stretch. Okay, that's a stretch, a little bit there, right? What's going on, Rashawn? Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Right? That's a stretch. That's a stretch, right? So again, it's bride price. We're talking about bride price. Is bride price the reason why people abuse their wife? That this sounds pretty accurate. Now, this is a BBC News, right? My husband can't afford me. Okay, let's look at this, right? All right, so this is the culture. This is what's going on. Okay, let me just go ahead and turn this to MacBook speaker so we can see what this says. Let's see if we can get this to play.
CFO, caregiver, eclipse chaser, a Raymond James financial advisor tailors advice to help you live your life.
Awesome,
That's
awesome.
Life well planned.
All right. So this is it, right?
This is a wedding in South London. The bride grew up near here, but as a
All right. So I don't want to play the music so we don't get flagged here necessarily. All right. So this is we call this the traditional engagement in Nigeria, right? So this looks like it's Ghana, but this is similar in a lot of ways, right? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So they do, like in Nigeria at least, we do like 3 different events. I think some people still do that. Some people are trying to lump it up into at most 2 events, maybe 1 event now. But basically, you do the traditional wedding, right? And then you do the white wedding. We call it the white wedding. Can you imagine, right? But that's what we call it, the white wedding, right? And then we do the reception, right? So there's 3 events that you have to basically produce, right? So it's a 3 event production, right? Big production, people spend for the most part, I think people spend minimum of $50,000 minimum. That's minimum. Average, I'm not sure these days, because even just the reception all by itself, these days people can spend up to $6,000 just to secure the event location, right? So it's very expensive, right? So now that's just the wedding. But in addition to that, especially from the eastern part of Nigeria, those are the people that I'm actually talking about right now today. They have to pay the bride price, right? And the bride price in my case, I got married in 2007. They took all of the yams, kola nuts, and like all the produce stuff, they take those, including some clothing, right? That you have to package and take to your wife's family, right? But they return the money that was in the envelope, right? So the money actually would represent the bride price, but then they return it, and they in at least from Yoruba land. My wife is from Abeokuta. They returned it, and the idea is that we don't want to sell our child. They took everything, like the produce, the yam, all that. They took that, but the money they returned that because they say we don't want to sell. Now, it's not everyone that does that. Like there are certain people that don't return the money, right? As a matter of fact, they've abused it in many areas. Okay, they've abused that in many areas where not only I heard on this particular live stream that I just played a little clip for you, that they would actually get into they would start bidding what do you call it, like auction. They would start auctioning the young lady right? And they will start like that, like an auction, like bidding and have all the families start bringing up more money, right? But even before you get into all of that, there's a certain set price. There's a list of things that you have to bring, right, in order to fully pay your bride price, right? So anyway, let me see here. I don't view the bride price as me being paid for, right? Again, these are sizable books. They're minimum 200 pages. You can download them absolutely for free by simply going to, for example, this one, you just go to getmymarriageback.com, smartrealestatewholesaling.com, realestatemoneysecrets.com. So yes, I am a 3 times author. Those books are out there for your consumption, and they are also available everywhere on Amazon, anywhere that you pick up books. So in case you prefer a physical book like that, it's perception. Everything is perception. The reason why we're talking about this, people are starting to blame domestic abnormal use violence on the fact that people put a price on a human being. So now some lame ass men out there are starting to make it an excuse to abuse their wife and say, hey, I've already paid for you, so I can do whatever I want, right? And we know that doesn't make any sense. So now some people are saying, if you're going to be saying that, we need to abolish the whole idea. We need to abolish the whole idea of bride price altogether. That's what they're saying. And it's a big part of the culture. It's a big part of the customs of our forefathers, right? So just because some people are abusing it, does that mean we have to abolish it? First of all, who are you going to get to agree to abolishing it? The kingsman or the king or the king's maker? Or exactly who's going to vote this into law, right? To abolish a big part of the of customary practices, right? Again, some people will abuse anything. Now, some people will say, hey, but it's making people abuse, but that is it really what's making them, or abusers are just abusers, right? See, abusers regardless, there's abusers everywhere in the world. There's abusers here in the United States. They don't pay bride price here. Anyway, let me go back to we're gonna come back and read this, but let's look at dowry. Somebody said it's different. That dowries is actually money that's donated to this gentleman that was on the platform said dowries is money that's donated and put together for the new couple to start their own lives. That doesn't sound right. Well, let's find out. Right? Let's see here. Dowry, property or money brought by a bride to her husband on their marriage. That's close to what he said. So it's actually the bride that bring this money to the husband on their marriage. Now we know that to be true. I've heard that to be true in India, but they're kind of making this like it's true for everywhere. I know it's not true for Nigeria. The bride don't pay nothing. Okay, in Nigeria, a dowry is a payment such as a property or money paid by the bride's family to the groom. So I think that's the real meaning of dowry. Let me look at dowry. Dowry is not plural, I think. All right, dowry versus bride price. Let's look at that. These payments can be categorized into two: dowry and bride price. The dowry, more common in Asian countries, okay, involves payment made by the bride to the groom. Again, I'm learning that for the first time. And his family. He said it. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. See, in Nigeria we use dowry and bride price interchangeably. Again, this is why you never assume. Because when you assume, you speak out of your own ass. Basically, you're making an ass out of you and you, right? It's always important to ask more questions, no matter how big you get or how big your platform is. Just ask more questions, right? It still doesn't change some of the fundamentals we're going to talk about in a second, right? And his family. Bride price, on the other hand, refers to the payment that a prospective groom and his family make to a prospective bride and a family. Okay, so today we're not talking about dowry. We're talking about bride price. And the idea is that if you put a price on a human being, that decreases their value. All right, so from a technical standpoint, I could see that, right? From a technical standpoint, I could see that, but that's a little bit of a stretch. Okay, that's a stretch a little bit there, right? What's going on, Rashawn? Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Right? That's a stretch. Right? So again, is bride price. We're talking about bride price. Is bride price the reason why people abuse their wives?